Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So for those that missed it, I did get a chance to stream the Aethermancer alpha early with the developers, which is still up on my channel, linked below if you want to check it out. But today we're going to be going over my thoughts on the game thus far, and we'll sort of be explaining what the game is if you've never heard of it as well. So on that note, Aethermancer is a monster taming roguelite that is being developed by the same studio that brought us Monster Sanctuary, and much like that game, Aethermancer has 3-on-3 turn-based combat, though this time it acts much differently than the Monster Sanctuary combat. It's got an amazing pixel art style, which I think is probably the best pixel art in the genre at this point, despite just being an alpha, and it's got a ton of unique creatures that you can tame and utilize in combat. Now, the way this game works, if you don't know what a roguelite or roguelike is basically you have a hub world where you can sort of upgrade your stats and whatnot, which as of the alpha isn't super fleshed out just yet, but then you have the areas that you can explore by leaving the hub, which are really important. This is basically where the thrust of the gameplay loop is. You can venture off into the wilderness, which consists of different realms that are randomly generated. You then go up against monsters and champions that exist within these realms and seek to conquer them. Every time you do so, you'll come back a bit stronger, certain progression will carry over, and you kind of just rinse and repeat from there. The game features permadeath, meaning that any monster you've collected during your run that is defeated will actually leave your party. However, what makes this a roguelite and not a roguelike is that there is, like I said, an overarching progression system that remains should you find that same monster again. It'll be more powerful than the first time you found it. During your travels, you can find shop merchants and new monsters to recruit, items, gold, and more. Now, this is a gross oversimplification of things, but this should give you a very basic rundown of what to expect when playing. Now, that said, I played about 2 hours of the alpha with the developers and still have access to the alpha and plan on playing some more, but I've got to say, despite me not being the biggest roguelite or roguelike fan, I had a lot of fun playing this. The combat is definitely one of those things that has a bit of a learning curve to it. There's a ton of complexity to be had, but not too crazy to get used to. The monster designs, like I said, are cool, and once you build up a combination of monsters that works for you, it really is satisfying to see them crush the enemy. There's a lot of different really cool mechanics too, like the ability to stagger enemies by dropping their poise. You got monsters that have abilities that allow them to execute extremely powerful attacks. There's a ton of builds that revolve around buffs and debuffs, and all in all, I think if you're a fan of Monster Sanctuary and the complexity and passion that went into that game, I really think this is going to be one that you want to check out. The combat systems are both definitely different from one another, but both are extremely well put together, and I think that this just goes to show that the devs are really talented, especially when it comes to making unique combat systems that feel both satisfying and rewarding. During the interview, it was also made clear that this is just a taste of what's to come, so if you did happen to watch the live stream and are excited for the game, just knowing that this is the ground floor and things are going to get even crazier. They're supposed to be adding new biomes and a ton of features that aren't yet present in the alpha, and honestly, I'm pretty friggin' hyped. That being said, I just wanted to make a really quick video kind of gushing over this thing because I did actually enjoy it quite a bit, and I think that even if, like I said, you're not a big fan of roguelikes or roguelites, this might be the exception to the rule for you, so keep an open mind. I think that the future of the genre is burning bright, and I can't wait to see more games like this drop, and more studios that have already put out monster taming games start to put out their next titles as well. That said, if you do want to stay up to date on all things monster taming, subscribe to the channel for more monster taming content. You can also check out my Twitter, Discord, Patreon, and channel memberships down below. And special thanks to our supporters, especially Jim Hamilton, Dro Ghost, Candy Morency, TragSoft, and Nemo. And I'll see you next time. Peace.